Excretion in humans. Our bodies produce several kinds of waste, including sweat, carbon dioxide gas, feces, and urine as byproducts of several essential processes. The excretory system and some organs help in removing these unwanted substances. The primary organs of excretion are the lungs, kidneys, and skin. Liquid waste is removed from the body through the kidneys. In this module, you will learn all about kidneys and the associated organs of human excretory system. The kidneys are a pair of bean-shaped organs that are a part of the urinary system. The kidneys are dark red, slightly flattened, bean-shaped organs, each about 10 cm long, 5 cm wide and 2 to 3 cm thick, with an average weight of 120 to 170 grams. The other components of this system are the ureters, urinary bladder, and the urethra. One of the main jobs of the kidneys is to filter the waste out of the blood. The urinary system regulates the quantity and composition of fluids by removing metabolic waste from our body. The system helps in retaining the proper amount of water, salts, and nutrients in the body. The kidneys are placed against the back wall of the abdominal cavity just below the diaphragm, one on either side of the vertebral column. Their position is slightly asymmetrical. The left kidney is placed a little higher than the right. The outer surface of a kidney is convex and the inner surface is concave. The inner surface has a deep notch. The ureter, renal artery, and renal vein enter the kidney through this notch. The main function of the kidneys is to remove waste products and excess water from the blood. The kidney does it with the help of tiny filters present in it. These filters are called nephrons. Urine is produced in the kidney. Actually, it is not produced. It is filtered out of the blood. Filtering units in the kidneys are nephrons. When blood reaches a nephron, it allows waste to be removed from the blood and produces the nitrogenous waste fluid called urine. The nephron has specialized areas with specific functions designed to remove the majority of waste from our blood with minimal water loss. Once it is filtered out, it travels into a tube called the ureter that takes the urine to the bladder for temporary storage. Once enough urine is in the bladder, one senses the need to urinate and passes the urine out of the body through the urethra. Parts of a nephron. The nephron is the structural and functional unit of the kidney. each nephron functions as an independent unit and produces some quantity of urine. The nephron can be differentiated into the following parts. Glomerular capsule. This is the first portion of the nephron and is of cup shape. It is also called Bowman's capsule. Closely associated with the glomerular capsule is a ball of capillaries called the glomerulus. The glomerulus is actually a miniature filtering or sieving device which consists of a tightly coiled network of capillaries. Proximal convoluted tubule. The nephron then convolutes. This convoluted portion of the nephron is near the glomerulus, so it is called the proximal convoluted tubule. Loop of Henle. After the proximal convoluted tubule, the nephron will dip down and then back up again, forming a loop. This loop is called the loop of Henle. Distal convoluted tubule. The nephron tube then convolutes again, and since this convolution is far from the glomerulus, it is called the distal convoluted tubule. Collecting duct. Finally, the nephron joins a collecting duct that will direct the urine that has been produced to the renal pelvis portion of the kidney. Every one of us depends on the process of urination for the removal of certain waste products from the body. Urine is composed of water, certain electrolytes, and various waste products that are filtered out of the blood system. Both the kidneys in the body carry out this essential blood cleansing function. For the production of urine, the kidneys do not simply pick waste products out of the bloodstream, rather millions of nephrons filter the blood to produce urine by three microprocesses: filtration, reabsorption, and secretion. Filtration. Blood enters in the kidneys through the renal artery. It is pumped into nephrons where the filtration starts. The process of filtration occurs in glomerular capsule. The filtration removes all molecules from the blood depending on their size. All the molecules which are small enough are filtered out of the blood. Large molecules and blood cells remain in the blood because they are too large to be filtered out. Filtered molecules can be of waste like amino acids, urea, and also good molecules like glucose, water, salts, etc. Reabsorption. Through reabsorption, water, some salts and required nutrients removed from the blood during filtration are brought back into the circulatory system. Reabsorption of these molecules takes place at the proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and collecting duct. Water is primarily reabsorbed at the loop of Henle. In fact, the longer the loop, the more water is reabsorbed. If this reabsorption does not take place, we would die of dehydration. Secretion. At the distal convoluted tubule, molecules that were not filtered out previously during filtration at glomerulus are transported back into the nephron. The molecules that can be secreted this way are certain ions like sodium and potassium and the drugs. Once all three microprocesses are complete, the nephron then drains the waste fluid into a large space, finally leading to the ureters. Osmoregulation. Urine contains mostly nitrogenous waste like urea, excess salts, and some water. Osmoregulation refers to the control of the levels of water and mineral salts in the blood. So this way, the kidneys function to maintain the blood volume and pressure. Antidiuretic hormone. In order to control the amount of water that is excreted from your body, the hormone antidiuretic is produced. Whenever there is any kind of fluid imbalance in your body, your brain senses it and activates the pituitary gland to secrete the right quantity of hormone. Increased ADH increases permeability of the collecting duct, thus promotes reabsorption of water back into the circulation. In the absence of antidiuretic hormone, the collecting ducts become impermeable to water, and most of the water flows out as urine. Thus, reabsorption or removal of water is under hormonal control. It is important to take care of the kidneys. We can maintain healthy kidneys by drinking plenty of water. Sometimes, due to failure of the filtration process, the kidneys' functioning gets affected. Renal failure is a medical condition in which the kidneys fail to filter waste products from the blood. Renal failure may also occur due to long-term damage to the kidney functions. Failure of both the kidneys can be treated by kidney transplant. Kidney transplantation means replacement of the failed kidneys with a working kidney from a donor. Because of a shortage of donor kidneys, the wait for a healthy kidney for transplantation may take years. Many patients survive on dialysis as they wait for a kidney donor. However, dialysis is a common treatment for kidney failure and is carried out with the use of a machine. In dialysis, blood is filtered by an artificial filtering system. In this filtering system, the blood flows through the tubes made of a membrane that allows the waste products that are much smaller than blood cells to pass through it. The waste products pass through the membrane into a dialyzing solution and then out of the machine. The clean blood is carried back safely to the body. Blood circulates through the machine for several hours during a treatment, which controls the speed and several safety factors. A patient's blood needs to pass through the dialysis machine many times to make sure all wastes are removed. Dialysis does not cure the damaged kidney. It is only an artificial substitute for the original kidney.